Hey guys, today's video is going to feature some killer loot from MPF Designs. My buddy John was kind enough to send these out for me to take a look at, so many thanks to him for the opportunity. MPF really hit their mark with the Invader drone, and this titanium version is still one of my favorite fidgets of all time. What we are checking out today is the Sector 5 in stainless steel, and the new release, the Corvette bar spinner, also in stainless steel. So let's jump right in with the Sector 5. You may have seen the video where I got a sneak peek at the aluminum prototype for the Sector 5, but this is the stainless steel version and it is so much nicer with plenty of heft at 3.5 ounces. As far as I can tell, the design elements remain identical to the prototype, so this part of the video will largely be similar to the other overview that I did. The Sector 5 gets its name from the 5 areas that are machined down around the edge to create a cool look. And those little sectors also are very important in the fidgeting. It also has 5 arms and 5 waists, so from a spinner point of view, I would classify this as a cog style. What has always made the Sector 5 so interesting is that it's not just a spinner. It incorporates a few other fidgets in the design as well. As a spinner though, it works very well. I've always been a fan of Cog Spinners, and this one is no exception. The rounded waists are comfortable, but the knurling on these teeth right here give you excellent friction for a powerful flick. The nice thing about this design is that there isn't really any awkward spots when you want to start and stop the flick. Whether you land in the waist or on the teeth or halfway in between, it feels very comfortable and consistent. There are, you guessed it, 5 magnets surrounding the bearing on each plate, and that helps keep the plates together and lined up perfectly. Using the resistance from those sectors, your fingers can easily slide the plates. Depending on how loose you hold it, you can control the sound it makes as well. A really loose hold and it's pretty loud, or you can squeeze it and it's not nearly as loud. The third fidget is the button clicker, which happened to be an unintended feature that just happened with how the Sector 5 was designed. Just hold one side of the body, and with your thumb on one of the grips, just press the button. It tricks your brain into thinking the button is moving, but actually the plates are separating as you put that pressure, creating that clicking sound. It reminds me of the endless pen clicking I used to do before I found spinners. The grips are excellent, with rounded raised rings on a concave surface that give a very comfortable yet secure feel. Let's take the grips off so we can look under the hood at what is going on with the Sector 5. Alright, you have your grips, your plates with the magnets, the R188, and the thrust bearing. There's a nest in the middle of each of the plates for the R188 to sit, so that it doesn't have to use any glue or a tight press fit to stay secure. The magnets holding it together keep it in place. The thrust bearing sits down in this track around the outside, and that allows for the sliding haptic function to happen a lot smoother. The Sector 5 is nice because it is kind of modular. If you wanted to leave the buttons at home and just have the slider function, it's a lot easier to slide without those buttons there. Or if you didn't like the thrust bearing sound when you're spinning, because it's not consistent, if you didn't like that, you can just take that thrust bearing out and treat the Sector 5 just like a spinner. And it will still slide along the magnets, but it's not quite as smooth. Alright, let's move on to the Corvette, which is a design that really surprised me. I haven't paid much attention to bar designs because I usually prefer a try. MPF did a wonderful job on the Corvette because I have been messing with it for days and it's very satisfying. I'll start with the grips because they are my least favorite part of the design. Don't get me wrong, they are interesting and unique and I like them on other spinners, but I'm really picky about grips when they go beyond the body of a spinner. These grips have a concave center with a stepped plateau followed by another step, and the real star is around the edge, these 12 facets that just dance in the light. It's those facets when I'm spinning from the waist that they kind of rub against, and while it's not really a big deal, I could see after prolonged use maybe your finger getting irritated by that, just like those edges. Under the grips is a press fit R188, and you'll see some machine circles here around the outside, and that's put there for balancing. I know some of the Invader drones had an issue with balancing, but this new system works well because my Corvette is perfectly balanced. And the way you can tell that is spin it, hold it on your finger, and if it feels like the spinner is not moving in any way, then it's balanced. But if you feel that shake, then there's some balance issues there. The wastes on the side have some intense rounding, and it feels really silky. And it's a pretty dramatic curve too compared to many bar spinners. I love it. The arms really remind me of the Invader drone, but with round taper being a lot longer and less steep, I guess. When flicking from the arms, that design, that taper, is just really pleasing to me. My favorite setup is to use some pose grips because they feel smooth, and I don't think anyone could deny the sexiness of this bearing. Come on, man. A few specs. It's about 2.5 ounces, around 2 inches in diameter. So it's great for hands of all sizes. Except maybe a baby. Did he just say baby? You can't give a baby a spinner, they will eat the bearing. I think a big reason why I like the Corvette is because that largest mass ratio is an arc right here just past the bearing. That of course keeps the judder level down. And as they say here in Speedy Land, I like butter, not judder. The Corvette has been my favorite bar lately, especially when I'm in the mood to start and stop and change directions at will with several fingers. There's something about it that just feels really, really good. Like that first time that you spun a stubby, maybe, back in the day. And in perfect harmony, using the Corvette's grips on a tri-cocoon body is killer. And since they are fully contained, those gorgeous facets are kept away from the edge, and it's very comfortable. So there you have it, the Sector 5 and the Corvette. Two solid offerings from MPF Designs. The Sector 5 is neat with its multi-fidget options, and the Corvette is a powerhouse, just like the car. If you want to check these out, head over to MPF Design's site, and that link will be in the description below. They also have a Facebook group, which is a great place to ask specific questions and stay updated on everything. And that link will be in the description below as well. Later. Alright, thank you for watching, and if you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing by clicking the button on the left and by watching some of the other spinner reviews here on the right. Because without you guys, this doesn't happen.